Hey everyone, this is Paul Gale from paulgalenetwork.com, and thank you for joining me today for video game news. It is September 8th, 2020, and these are the top stories of the day. To kick things off, I'm going to show you the 2-minute trailer, which is the short version of Nintendo's big surprise this morning, which is the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity game in development for Nintendo Switch with their partners, Koei Tecmo. Title comes out November 20th. I'm going to check it out together now.
The history of the royal family.
There is a full
is also the history of
6-minute trailer with Mr. Eiji Aonuma talking about it, and we get a little bit more in-depth look at the details behind the game, its development, how it kind of came to be. That's why I'm talking more over this trailer. But if you want to watch a full trailer of it, along with my discussion after, and not me talking through it, interrupting kind of, I have a separate video up which I made earlier this morning, which is a live reaction video, and that's about 11 minutes long because I watched the trailer live, which the full one is 6 minutes long, and then I have a little discussion afterwards. This is really going to need its own video game talk segment where I could break it down and really go wild and have fun with what I think this game's going to be like, what I hope to see from it, etc. But I thought this would be appropriate for video game news this morning because it's definitely one of the top stories of the day. So we won't spend too much time on it, but how could you not talk about this game today? This is exciting. It came out of nowhere. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. And we see something at the very end, which is, well, even after this Princess Zelda segment, we find out more information, and that's that the game is going to have a little bit of an update on September 26th. That's in a couple of weeks. Today's the 8th, so in just a couple more weeks, we're going to see more of this game, probably more gameplay footage, some more story footage. It's really exciting. We got to look at the box art right here, and that looks really nice. It's crisp. This title comes out November 20th, and I've got to give props to Nintendo because where they might not have done any big Nintendo Directs in 2020, they did have a steady stream of mini directs, partner showcases, shadow drops with things like Paper Mario, the Origami King, and Pikmin 3 Deluxe, and now Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. So it's pretty exciting, on top of releasing games such as Animal Crossing and Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. You know, you have a good year looking back, even though we never got like our big Nintendo Direct. Could we still get one? That remains to be seen. You know, there are a few months left in the year, but whether or not Nintendo has a full Nintendo Direct or just continues dropping these games, I'm pretty happy with the content that we are getting out. But that's enough on Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity for now. Let me know in the comments, are you looking forward to the game? Are you stoked? Did you see this one coming? Because I didn't, but I'm very happy. Next up, switching over to Xbox territory, there it is, official. Xbox Series S. Next-gen performance in the smallest Xbox ever at only $300. You're about to see a little bit more because I'm going to play a small trailer that Microsoft put together, but this is the Xbox Series S. We knew about it for months. We saw the back of packaging. If you have been watching video game news with Paul Gale Network, then you know that we did discuss it several times, but now getting to see it, they've gone with white. They've got a black circle in the middle. Maybe you could put the console sideways and use it as a electric frying pan, you know? I mean, put a frying pan on it, like use it as an electric stove. Maybe not, but that would be cool. It's probably just airflow, speaker, whatnot, but I have prepared the video to watch next where they break down some of the specs, but $300, you can't beat that price. I'm very impressed. Now it looks like we're going to have Xbox Series X at $500 and then Xbox Series S at $300, which now it's up to PlayStation to make up the middle, presumably, with a PS5 and the PS5 digital only edition. Where are they going to fall in, you know? Are we going to see them try to undercut Microsoft at $450 and make the digital one $400? There's no way that either of those are going to be $300. This is just too low. For somebody trying to get into the next gen console scene, if you don't need 4K graphics and you don't need a 4K Blu-ray player and you just want a device that's going to play all of the next gen games to come out for this upcoming 7-year time frame, probably from November 2020 to November 2027, this is it. Now you're going to have to buy some expanded storage. As you'll see, it doesn't have the biggest hard drive in it, but let's watch it together and you'll see. It's a pretty attractive system. Whether you like the physical look or not, that's subjective, but based off of what it's giving you for the price, man, Microsoft is not playing around. Next gen performance. It's a good amount smaller, 60% smaller than Xbox Series X. Next gen speed. Custom SSD. Incredibly fast load times, seamless game switching. Next gen performance. It's an all digital gaming experience, up to 120 frames per second though. Better with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, of course. That's really their pitch. Here's a $300 machine that, as long as you pay, you know, an additional $15 a month, you got 100 games instantly on your system day one. Wow, not bad, right? Here we go. I'm gonna pause this real quick. 1440p, so it's not a 4K machine, but still has DirectX ray tracing, variable rate shading, variable refresh rate, 512 gigabyte SSD inside, and you will have, oh sorry, I'm mistaken, you will have 4K upscaling for games and 4K streaming for media playback, but 1440p resolution is what you have at the 120 frames per second rate. So you won't have 4K 120 frames per second. But still, it is a 4K machine, and it looks pretty nice. Let's finish off the trailer. November 10th. Power your dreams. Yeah, that's it, right? What do you think? Are you sold on the Xbox Series S? November 10th. That's pretty early. I mean, relatively early in the month of November, but this means they beat Black Friday. It'll be out on the market then. I don't know if the PlayStation 5 is going to come out before November 10th. I think that Microsoft is going to land first, unless if Sony pulls off something like November 3rd, but that sounds like too early in the month. Then again, Sony could bust in October, but that doesn't seem that likely. Then again, the PlayStation 2 came out back in the day in October of 2000, at least in the United States, so it's possible, but that is quite an affordable entry point in the market. And now that also makes me wonder, will Nintendo drop the price of the Nintendo Switch? You know, I suggested previously that Nintendo would drop the price of Nintendo Switch this holiday season in both of its models, dropping the Nintendo Switch from $300 down to $280, Nintendo Switch from $300 to $270, and Nintendo Switch Lite from $200 to $180. So basically a $30 drop and a $20 drop respectively on the normal and light models, because they're going to want to be the most affordable, the easiest to get into and buy a game, and still be less than the other consoles. But seeing at Microsoft with Xbox Series X S at $300, that means Nintendo Switch and it are the same price. So dropping the regular Switch to $270 might make sense. I also suggested that perhaps we would see, a Breath of the Wild 2 and Nintendo Switch bundle for $230. Obviously, Breath of the Wild 2 is not happening, but here we found out today about Hyrule Warriors. Could we get a Hyrule Warriors and Nintendo Switch bundle? Whether it's $360 or my, proposed price of $330, if said discount becomes applied to the regular Nintendo Switch and the new base price is $270, $330 for a system and a game would be quite attractive, but Nintendo's got to do something to compete, because now you've got the Xbox Series S, a brand new machine, 3.5 years younger, 3.5 years newer than Nintendo Switch, and the Nintendo Switch, both at $300. But anyways, not to take too much attention away from Microsoft, it's just I like dissecting everything and looking at the possibilities of what Nintendo's going to do to counteract. What's Microsoft doing right in this case? What's Sony going to do to counteract? But props to Microsoft on delivering a powerful next-gen experience at only $299.99 USD. Way to go. Here's a little bit of a look, a pause on that. And yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to come in the coming weeks as we build up close to the launch, but that's enough for Xbox news. Next up, though, is on this website, Game Source Entertainment, we see a listing for Ninja Gaiden Trilogy. Now, this is the Ninja Gaiden Trilogy that started off in March of 2004 for the original Xbox, and then we got the sequels in 2008 and 2012. This is developed by Koei Tecmo, Team Ninja. This was led by Tomonobu Itagaki. There's him and me actually at E3 2004, and the two of us at E3 2014, 10 years apart. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, I think we look good. I think we held up. But Tomonobu Itagaki launched the series, this particular Ninja Gaiden trilogy. He didn't stay with Koei Tecmo after 2008. Things started to fall apart, but that's a discussion for another time perhaps. But he is the creator of this trilogy in mind, and it's got a listing. Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, release date March 2021. Could this be the real deal? Could this be that trilogy of games? The last time we saw Ninja Gaiden was Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge on Wii U, and it's definitely time for a new Ninja Gaiden entry. And this wouldn't necessarily be new, but it would be a trilogy, and for a lot of people it would be played for the first time. A lot of time has passed from when Xbox and Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 got these Ninja Gaiden games, and even Wii U's, Razor's Edge edition. So I'd be looking forward to this if it wound up being true, and I don't see why not. Maybe it's not officially announced yet by Koei Tecmo, but I think it's going to happen. So I thought I'd share that today because that's pretty exciting. I'm a Ninja Gaiden fan. Obviously, I like Tomonobu Itagaki. We've had good discussions at E3 over the years. And here we go. Let's see if anything more plays off. And finally, in game news, we went from Nintendo to Xbox to Ninja Gaiden, which could be coming out for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. We'll see. To PlayStation news. And this is coming to us from PlayStation on Twitter, and it says, Tawna swings into Crash 4 from an alternate dimension. First gameplay details on this new playable Bandicoot.
Hey everybody, welcome to PlayStation Underground. We're here with a look at Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time.
This is Crash 4.
I am joined here by Lou Studdert, producer,
and we're seeing gameplay footage
writer
of Tawna.
Bob on the game. Thanks for joining us.
Now the game looks good.
About,
we've watched this before together
out here
on
Sure,
Video
so
Game
this
News
is
with PGN.
Tawna. She's one of our new playable characters, but she looks a little different than you might remember because
But
she's
it's definitely
actually
nice
Tawna
seeing
from an
an
alternate
extended
universe.
look. And I think the game still holds up well. I mean,
she is kind of the
I'm
Crash
comparing it
equivalent,
to
action hero.
the new Ratchet
star.
and Clank coming out on PlayStation 5.
So she's like a
Because they both
cool
have
kick-ass
an
adventure.
alternate
She's been around the
dimension,
block a few times
going
here,
through rifts in
under her
different
adventures.
areas.
That's great. So
Vibe to
what
it,
is, from a gameplay
but obviously
standpoint, you can totally
they're
see
very
her,
different games
her
in terms
experience
of,
worn on her sleeve here with her awesome hair. But from a
gameplay,
gameplay perspective,
visual, scope,
what does she bring to the table that Crash, Coco, Cortex, and Dingle
walking
might not
around
be
the
able to?
environment and whatnot.
Yeah, she's,
and of course,
all
one's
about being
developed
this
next gen in mind,
nimble
PS5,
action
and
star.
one's
So you
current
can see here
gen,
that she's got a
PS4.
wall jump that no one else
But
has,
still,
but she's
this
also
looks really
defined
nice.
by
Like,
her ability to use what we call her hook
its visual
shot. It's this really awesome
style
grappling
is
hook that
pretty.
she can use for traversal, as well
I'm
as
liking the
combat
graphics, I'm
to
liking the
take out
gameplay, I
enemies
think it
or
looks
zip across the
smooth.
level at high speeds.
I think it'll be cool
You
playing
know, we
as
always joke
Tawna
that
in
if
addition
you're-
to
If
Crash.
you're on the ground with Tawna, then you're playing her wrong. You need to be bouncing, you need to be going off of rope swings into zip lines, moving across the level
This
as fast as possible.
gameplay footage is relatively
using all her
short,
agility to her advantage to stay
but you can
out of
definitely
harm's
look at
way, which
more
players
footage
look
if you
forward
go
doing
to
when,
PlayStation's
Crash 4
YouTube
hits
channel
PS4 on
and
October
check out
2nd,
a much
2020.
longer
Lou, Mandy,
sequence
thanks so much
of
for joining us for this
Tawna.
quick look at the game.
Of course.
Thanks for having us.
PlayStation.
And that's it for that. I'll pause it right there. So pretty cool news. The game's looking like it's shaping up pretty nicely. That's going to do it for video game news today. If you would like, stay tuned later on because I'm going to have a video game talk segment, particularly for Hyrule Warriors. We have to break that down further. And I also want to discuss in more detail Xbox Series S. But for video game news, that's going to do it for now. Let me know in the comments what you think. You looking forward to Hyrule Warriors? Are you now going to get an Xbox Series S either as your main system or as your secondary due to how affordable it is? Are you a fan of Ninja Gaiden? And would you buy the Ninja Gaiden Trilogy for just $40? And what platform would you play it on? Would you want to buy it for? I gotta say, Nintendo Switch for me, because to have that on the go is just too attractive to pass up on personally. And what do you think about this new footage of Tawna in Crash 4? Alright everyone, thanks for watching. This is PGN signing out. Hope you all have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon for my video game talk segment, and of course tomorrow for video game news with PGN once again. Take care. Bye.